So is it a full-time job or is a contract or part-time? What is the type of the job?
Uh,
Is
let
it
me double
full-time?
check. Yeah, let me double check. But I think it's half a year contract.
It will
Yeah,
be, even if it's contract, it's 8 hours. That is, you will go from morning to evening. So
yes.
how will you go to college? You will, what you will do? You will study yourself or what you will do on college days?
Right now, the classes is nearly to the end. I
Okay,
just
to the end.
have some classes which I
Okay.
can change it to online classes.
Okay, you
So
can change to online, right? Okay, good.
yes.
Okay. So yesterday we did the two things, local storage and get local storage and save local storage. If I click save, it is going to save the local storage. If I click get, and it gets from the local storage. So you can check in the application in the local storage, you can see that my object is there, which I was getting and setting. If you practice this, you will learn more. Just if you watch lesson, you may forget in the future. So try to practice it whenever you get time. Now we will go and do the ajax request. So let's go to React project and let's go to the source and let's open the app.js. Now I'll click one more button that will do the ajax request. So I will say maybe I can name it as ajax get because we are doing get. So I will create a function called as ajax get. Harry, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So Kate got cleared in the first round. She will now get the second round.
Wait, what?
Yes.
What happened?
Kate got cleared in the first round of the interview, or now she has to go there for the personal interview for the React position, the front end position.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. But it is all with the help of money. So I still need to work
Maybe
hard.
that's why I'm saying even if you don't get selected here, don't be certain. You will achieve that. Maybe after 2 months, 3 months, you will get some good position.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is
Right.
a learning. It can be a huge learning experience.
It
Right.
is. It is just a learning process.
Yes.
Yeah. Even I got failed in many interviews. Even if now I know many things, many time I go for interview, person can ask anything, which I may, I may have to revise kind of thing. Whole thing I don't remember. I know I can do the things, but sometimes they are so different question which I might have not seen for 4 years, 5 years. So I could not answer that. So I can do that, but if I get some revision of that part, but sometimes I haven't revised everything, and they ask that question. And sometimes they ask the question, I answer it also, then also they reject it because they might be in different mode. Maybe they might be thinking differently. So even if you know or if you don't know, it's all luck. If they like you, try to wear good dress and go. Then based on dress also, they can select you.
Yes. So let's keep learning.
We have some mini skirt and go. They will see, okay, good girl. Okay, let's say if she knows little bit less, we can offer a job.
And try and tell them that
I don't know. Right now in my company, many girls come in mini skirt. I don't know. It's they come always in mini skirt in my company. Here it's trend. It's people wear anything. Maybe in China they are little closed, right?
Yeah, little what in China?
Are they closed?
They might be not wearing mini skirt in China, but here people wear anything, right? In US, they don't bother any dress.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I have seen people wear anything. They just crazy.
Crazy.
You mean they show a lot of skin?
Yeah.
And then they wonder why there's sexual harassment videos to watch and to take tests and all that.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go and do our first thing that is called the ajax request. So if I click this get request button, it will call my ajax get, and here I will write the ajax query to get the request from the server. So let's take one URL which we will generally call. Maybe I can go and go to developers tool. So I will just put the details. Let's say S2. I will put some birthplace, for example, San Francisco. Birthday, let's say I will put uh, 22. Birth month, let's put 8. Birth year, let's put 2015. Per hour, let's put 6 o'clock, and time, let's put 05, and try to submit. And now as soon as I click submit, you will see one server call will happen. And whenever we want to see the ajax request, where should I see? In the JS, CSS, image, media, font, doc, WS, manifest, other, all, XHR, where should I see the ajax request?
XHR.
XHR.
XHR. All can show all, but it will be difficult to see all the requests if there are too many requests. But XHR, we can see the ajax request. So I will see the ajax request here, and that URL I will copy and I will use it in my example. I'll click submit. URL is called, and you will see this is the URL I'm calling. So let's take this URL. I will say URL is equal to var. There will be some URL. Whenever you will work with the ajax call, there will be some URL, and you have to put the URL here. There are 3 types of ajax call generally we do in day-to-day life. I will tell you other 2 also. Right now, just remember this is the get request. Get request is generally used for the search kind of thing, or anything which we want to get the record. Where we want to get the record. Now, if my let's open the PHP server. So let's open the project which we are doing, and let's start the page. I will show you if I want to do this in Ajax. So I'm going to this home page. In home page, you are seeing these 2 records are coming. This is called the get request because we are getting the records from the server. We are getting the records from the database. So if I want to build this in the React, I will use the Ajax get record to get this data. So whenever we want to show something, display something, we will use the get thing. If I go Hindu religion, you will see this data we are displaying, this image and all. This should all be in the get request. This records we are showing, the verses record we are showing, this should be also in the get request. If I'm searching something, since it is a search will also be in the get request. But if I add new words, this is not the get request. So it will not come in the get request because we are adding the record. Adding the record is not the retrieving. When we are retrieving, we will use get. But when we are adding, we will use post. So this will not be the get if I'm posting something. Let's do both the things, but right now we will do the get today. And once you are mastered in the get, we will do the post. So I called one URL, that is the get request. And then I will use the Ajax to call this URL. How to use the Ajax, I showed you on that day also, just see the revision. I will first print out what is the URL. So I'll say console.log URL is URL, this URL. So I'm just printing what is the URL. Then I will start with my Ajax call. To use the Ajax call, I will use a fetch, and I will start with round bracket, close with round bracket. Inside fetch, I have 2 parameters to be passed. One is called URL, another is called object. In object, I can pass different parameters. One of the parameters is called method, and method will be get since we are doing get request. So this is the main part of the fetch. The API fetch is the functionality in the JavaScript which will call the Ajax to the server. And in the fetch, I will say dot then. You don't have to remember everything. Just remember you have to call the URL and this method. After that, you don't have to remember for a couple of lines, and then I'll tell you what you have to remember. So in the then, we'll get arrow function. After this then, you will call another then. We'll call another then, and it will be also having the arrow function. This is called arrow function. After another then, you will call the catch. If any error comes, you will put it in the catch. And here in the catch, you will again create an arrow function in the catch. And in the first then, you will get a parameter called as response. And you will return response.json. You don't have to remember this thing. You will return response.json. In the second then, you will get something, maybe result, or you can call A, or can X, Y, Z. You can name it anything. Let's say I name it J. And I will say console.log J is J. Now this is J is very important. Very, very important. This is the variable where you will get the data which is coming from the server. This is the data which is coming from the server. So this data, or you can see in the proper formatted, will come in the J variable. Then you can use it. You can put it in the state, you can put it in the local storage, and you can display it. Whatever you want, you can do that with the J. This is the main thing. And if any error comes, then this part is important. Error. And here you will do console.log error is error. Let's use single quote. So you will remember URL and method get, and then you will forget this thing. No need to remember this one. Then in the second, then you will get J. That is very important. This J is very important to retrieve the data from the server. Whatever data server will give will be shown in this J. Then there will be error. Error will come in the error. See, it's ERR, so I have to use ERR. Now let's try to use this one. Whenever I click this button, it will call this ajax get, and ajax get will take this URL and go to the server and return the details here. Let's take this one in our step. So my npm is running. Npm is running. Why it's not showing this part? This is ajax2, right? ajax2. I am in the ajax2. Let's run it again. Yeah, I got the GET request. I will click the GET request now. See in the network, you will see that first. I click the GET request and you see in the network. And if you see the headers, it is the URL which I have passed. This is the GET method. And if you see here in the below, there is a query string parameters. And you can see all the parameters are passed in the query string format. And then preview will be the data which is coming from the server, and the response is in the different format. It's a JSON format only. Preview is a look wise, it is nice. Response is the raw data. So you saw, if I go to the console.log, URL is posted here, and in the J I'm getting whole data which server is sending to me. So this is called the GET request. GET request means we call this fetch API. So this is very important. Just you have to remember this much only in the GET request. Now, what if I want to display the details which I get from the GET request here below, maybe somewhere? So to show the details, any detail from this GET request, I need to save this J in the state. Unless I don't save it in the state, I won't be able to really use in the render function. So let's create one state and we will try to save it. So to create the state, we need to create the constructor. I will say constructor props, and here I have to say super. This is always to be called whenever we want to create the state. If we don't want to create the state, no need to pass this. Just delete it. But if we want to use the state, I have to call this one. Now here I will create my state is equal to the object, and in object I can put any number of variables. Right now I want only one variable, that is the data which is coming from the server. So I can name it as profile data, for example. It's not really profile data, I am just giving the name of profile data. Initially I will make it null. So when the page will load, it will be null. When the data will come from the ajax, we will set it the value in this profile data. So how to set the value in the profile data? I will say this dot set state. Whenever you want to change the state, you have to use set state. You cannot say this dot state dot profile data is equal to j. This is the wrong. This is not the right way to do in the React. It will update the state, but this is not the right way. It will create some other problems in the feature project. So you have to always say set state. And in the set state, you have to start with the curly bracket and you have to say profile data clone j. That means whatever value I am getting from the j, I am saving in the profile data. Now let's see what is the state. See the state, we will go into the render function and I will do console.log. State is this dot state. Now let's see what is coming in the state. Okay, initially it's saying null. Null is giving error because I cannot put semicolon in the object. So let's delete the semicolon. Now error will be gone. Now initially when the page load, we don't have profile data. It's null. Initial value is null. Now when I click the get request, it will go to the server and get the data, and it will update the profile data with some value, which is the j. So let's do the get request. Once I do get request, URL is called, j is called. Now state is updated the profile data with the details of the j. So whatever you are seeing in the j will be now in the profile data because we saved the j part in the profile data. See, we have data, we have get, means whatever we are passing as a get parameter, and then we have success equal to 1. So these three things are coming from the server. Now what if there is error? Let's try to use the wrong API. Maybe I put wrong URL in the API, and I'll call the get request now. You will see there is error. Since there is error, we are getting error is type error failed to fetch. Since I did this one, this is the error, and that same error we are able to see here. Error is type error failed to fetch because the URL is wrong. It is definitely will not be able to fetch it. I make the right URL, and then if I call get request, it will go and give the correct data. Now we have everything in the profile data. Now we want to display something below the get request. So what we want to display, I will tell you, and we will display something. So first thing I want to display is nakshatra. This is called the nakshatra, 7th number. So how to display this nakshatra, that is 7th number? I want to show this 7th number here, which is coming from the data from the API, and this is called nakshatra. What it is called, I will put it in the comments. It's called nakshatra in Indian language. Let's say if I want to print the nakshatra, here I will say maybe I can say p tag. I will create a p tag, and here I will say nakshatra, and here I want to display. I want to display this. What I want to display, 7th number, right? So let's see what is the 7th number, how to access the 7th number. So I have to use a profile data. Inside profile data, I want to go inside the data. Inside data, I want to go to the 7th number. So let's do that. So I will do this dot state dot profile data. Inside profile data, I have to go inside the data. And inside data, I want to pass the 7th number. This is number, I cannot put dot 7. This is wrong. I need to use the rectangular bracket and I will pass the 7 inside the rectangular bracket. Let's refresh it. Okay, it's doing error. What is the error? Cannot read the property of data. Because when the page load, we don't have this data, right? Because it will only come when we have when we go to the server, get the data. So it will not show this one, 7.1, because it will give error now. So how to fix that?
Force update.
No, force update will not work because force update will, because right now I'm not calling even ajax get on page request. So data is not really there. And even if I call force update, that will only come when we do ajax request. But now since this part is not even here, so we are not able to see it. So how to fix that? So we will do some manipulation here before the return statement. We will create one variable. I will say as a profile, I can say data. And this will be the profile data. Or I can name it as profile data. This is the local variable I'm creating, P. Let's name it P. Profile data is equal to profile data. Now, if I have profile data, that means profile data is coming from the server. I will create a variable called as data. And data will be profile data PD data. So this data is exactly, this is the profile data and I named it as PD. So if I want to access data, I can use profile data, which is this part, dot data, which is this part. So data will be PD dot data. That is profile data dot data. Now what will be the nakshatra? If I want to display nakshatra, nakshatra will be what? How can I say nakshatra?
Data 7.
Data 7. Because this whole part is now saved in the data. I will say data 7, that will be nakshatra. So these are the variable which I haven't created with the var. So let's create it with the var, because if I don't have if condition, I should be able to display null value. I can say var data is equal to null. Initially I will make it null. Var nakshatra is equal to null. So if I don't get this profile data, will not go inside this if clause, and then I will display null here somewhere. Here I will display null. So now instead of this, what should I put it?
Data 7.
Yeah, but I can also say nakshatra.
Yeah.
Nakshatra. Okay.
Nakshatra.
Naks. Yeah, say naks only, maybe. Easy to remember, right?
Yes.
Naks. Okay. Now here also I will put if condition, because what if data is not correct? So data is wrong. So I can also say if data 7 is present, then only then only use and put nakshatra in it. If we don't get data 7, or if data is there, then use nakshatra equal to data 7. I will make it data, not data 7. So if data is there, that means if data is coming, then go inside and create the nakshatra. Now I did not get error because we are not, because we put some if condition and we are just getting this values. So it's coming null, that is null, and we're not getting any error. Once I say get request, it goes to the server and it updates it with this nakshatra. Let's make this part bold. So this is all about get request. We will do more tomorrow. If I click get nakshatra, I get nakshatra. So do this exercise. Tomorrow I will ask you, how will you access the names? Here is the names, baby names. So baby name should start, the person name who is born in this nakshatra, the name should start with these letters, na, ni, nu, ne, ni, nu, ni. So if they put these letters, it will be good for that child. So tomorrow you have to tell me, instead of nakshatra, how will you access the baby names. So here I can say baby names should start with letters. When I say letters, so that means when I click get request, it should show Anuradha, and it's also show the baby names which start with the what will be the starting letter of the baby names. So it is present in this one. I will show you where is it present. You have to just demo me how will you display this 12 part. That is this name. So I want to display this here. Here I want to display. I'm giving you this file. You try to work out how will you display that. The chat, just save it somewhere. Is that clear? Will you be able to do that? Will you be able to show this baby names?
Yes.
Okay. If you are successful in doing that one, then show me this number also. The point number. This is called the number, nakshatra number. This is nakshatra and this is the number of nakshatra. Try to display this one also. Okay, try to do these two things. That's it for now. Okay.
Sure.
This is the nakshatra. This is the nakshatra number. So you should be able to show nakshatra, which I already did it. When I click get request, I should also show this here. And after that, next line, I should show the nakshatra number. This is the number. So that's it for today. Let's stop recording.